Do as I say, if you want to live.
Hey guys, this is Modified Devil. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the first Descendant. Today we're talking about Freyna. I see that you guys were really enjoying my Ultimate Bunny video, so I want to show you guys my Freyna build. She's one of my first character that I put Catalyst and Energy Activator into it, so I'm really excited to show her off today. So let's get right into it. So first of all, Freyna ability. There's four of them, and it's very
Do as I
important
say,
that you guys
if you want
understand
to
what the
live.
ability does because it changes things. So first you have your Venom Trauma, which you can read, but you basically shoot shot out, and it basically make everyone have room zero trauma. It's different than poison because room zero trauma is still a dot, just different than poison. So that is a very important distinction between them, and it will be very important later on when I explain one of the mods. Next, defense mechanism, completely useless unless you put a transcendence mod to it. Then it might make it a little bit more useful, but other than that, it doesn't really help. You can turn it on to get more defense, but other than that, I barely use it. I'm not wasting my MP on it. It only activate the armor activate right away,
Do as I say,
but
if you want to live.
oh, calm down, Freyna. But other than that, it doesn't really do anything, especially on boss fight. Next is Protrude Venom, which is just an AOE. That's it. It does not cause room zero trauma. It causes poison. Lastly is your ult, which is a Venom Baptism. So you get a gun out and you basically shoot and inflict room zero trauma and poison on them. So now let's get right into it and see why Freyna, in my opinion, is one of the top DPS in the game right now. So I have two built as always, a mob build and a boss build. And now, let's go right into the Transcendence mod and why Room Zero Trauma is important. The Contagion mod is when an enemy inflicted with Room Zero Trauma is killed, there's a contagion of poison surrounding it. So, the wording is not the best from this game, but I'll explain. Basically, when you kill someone that have Room Zero Trauma in it, they basically explode and have everyone around them to also have room zero trauma and poison. And if they die, they keep exploding. So when you fight, you just basically see them exploding one after another. It's pretty cool. It's pretty badass. But this only works on room zero trauma, which is your first ability. It doesn't work in anything else. Your ult, of course, but you know you don't use your ult all the time. Also your second ability, but like I said, it only activates when they hit you. Well, you don't want them to hit you, right? So you want to focus on just spamming Q, okay? Or yeah, I don't remember what the skill button is anymore. Sometimes I'm so used to it. So now, pretty straightforward. Shock punch. Everyone has it. Use whatever you want. Doesn't matter. You're just using it to get more module slots. The most important thing in the mob build is focus on tech, toxic master. Now, you can also use focus on toxic. I don't have it leveled up, that's why I'm not using it, but it's not a bad choice. You can use either or. The difference between your damage is very slow, very little, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay. Next, you want MP conversion. You want the skill cooldown, and here's why. Your Q cooldown is 6.3 seconds, and the duration is 6.8. So you can constantly have your Q up. Same thing with your first ability up. Sorry, I keep saying Q because I'm so used to playing like, a lot of other MOBA that has Q and whatnot. So you always can keep your skill 1 up and your skill 3 up. Cooldown is 14.4 seconds, duration is 16.4. So you want to keep them up as often as you can. That's how you do damage. whether it's mob fight or boss fight. But in mob fight, more than likely you'll kill them before it even runs out. That's how much damage you can do. Alright, so MP conversion. And then next is skill insight. I just put this on just so that has a higher chance of crit. Is that important? No. Because Freyna base crit rate, if I remember correctly, is very low. So if I remove the mod, I'll show you guys real quick. Her base crit rate is 5%. Her crit rate is not high, and the crit damage is not high. So yes, you could build her with crit, but you're gonna have to put a lot of crit mod into it to make her crit more. Just because her normal crit rate is low. So that was my only issue with the skill insight, and that's also why I haven't put more catalyst into her, because she can't crit anyways. So what's the point? But, you know, if you want to min-max her, that's the way to go. Skill insight, maybe frontline or emergency measure, and then bam, there you go. She can crit a little bit more. I put this here to increase the defense, just because I have nothing else to put here. I need her to not die during mob fight, so that's the only reason. It's gonna be more detailed, in depth, and makes sense when we're going into the boss fight, setup. Now, skill expansion, it's pretty straightforward. You use that in every build that require a skill DPS, right? You want it to have a bigger range, so you can... Here's the crazy part. The skill effect range also affect contagion explosion. So when the enemy explode from your first ability, they also explode further because of skill expansion. So that is very important to have that too. So when you're doing farming or a dungeon, you just shoot your first ability out and it just keep exploding, a chain reaction. So that is very important. And then skill extension, that's how you keep your third ability and first ability up at all time. That's why your duration matters. And then you have increased HP, pretty straightforward. You want to be tanky. That's pretty much a must in every build. So I'm not even going into too details to it. Every build, first mod you put on, increase HP. Okay? You gotta survive. You cannot just die. So that's the only issue, right? You need the increased HP. Next is strong mentality. Because of MP conversion, you have less MP. You want to have strong mentality to kind of offset it, right? If the skill costs less, then having less MP doesn't really matter as much now. So that's the mob build. Contagion, that's the way to go. You want to kill a bunch of mobs, just shoot your first ability, and the contagion will do the rest. You don't have to do anything else. And I'll show you guys in a sec. If you guys want to do, you know how there's Valby run and Bunny run? You guys really want to do it. It's not this one. It's not that one. Let me see. Where's my Transcendence? Oh, I don't have it yet, right? Oh, shoot. I don't have it yet. But there is one where when you turn on your second ability, defense mechanism, you can run around and leave a poison footprint behind. And when enemies chasing after you and you walk on them and whatnot, they get poisoned and then they die. So technically, you could do that too, but it's not as effective. Alright, we're going to go straight to the boss build. It's pretty straightforward and simple. Okay? It's basically the same build, but the only thing that's different is increased defense and nimble fingers. If I would have a catalyst in increased defense, I would have swapped the nimble finger with MP conversion. So it depends on how many catalysts you have in there, and you can go about it different way. But you need the increased defense and increased HP, especially in boss fight. You will die if you don't. So that's the only issue I have. So those are required. And then after that, focus on tag. Toxic Master is the same thing. Skill expansion, skill extension, same thing. You might not need skill expansion, but I personally like it because I just shoot a Q of my venom trauma at the mobs because when they spawn, they group up and they just die. So I don't have to worry about it. Or I shoot a puddle under the boss, and when he spawn mobs, they just die. So that's what I like to do. I don't want to waste my bullet and time on the mob. I just shoot one of these ability, and then they just die on their own. I don't have to worry too much about it. And like I said, of course, if you put more catalysts in there, this build will be more perfected. Of course, you know, if I want to change it out, I probably change out strong mentality and put in frontline and emergency measures on these, and that's it, right? And I don't need any more transcendence mod. I don't need any crazy mods because your poison already do a lot of damage. Okay, now let's go into weapons and reactor and external components. First of all, weapons. Fallen Hope, best gun in the game for Freyna. People say Python, but personally I like Fallen Hope more. Okay, Fallen Hope of the ability on hitting a poison enemy, increase firearm attack and apply this buff to the attack. On defeating them, there is a chance that they explode. So you're already doing contagion, and you're also making them explode on top of killing them. And inflict poison, and of course, because of contagion, they also inflict room 0 trauma. This is really good. On hitting a poison enemy, firearm attack goes up by 10%. That is really good. And it also poisons them. So you're already poisoning them, and you're also increasing firearm attack, and you're poisoning them even more. So this is really good. I'll do a quick review on what mods I put in Fallen Hope. Same mods at every gun: rifling, action and reaction, fire rate up. Okay. I could change these out eventually, but not right now. You know, I'm just actually speaking of, I could just do this. Oh, see, I don't have enough. So that's kind of the problem. You need to find a lot of extra mods to make it even better. So I'm not worried about it too much. Let's focus on the one I have, and then we'll go from there. Next mods I'm gonna have is toxic. You want them to get poisoned, so you want toxic. You do more damage to toxic enemies, so you want toxic enhancement. Pretty straightforward. And then toxic gun barrel. Do more toxic attack. Pretty straightforward. This is a toxic build, so you want to put all the toxic stuff on it. Last one is toxic conductor. When enemy is inflicted with poison, firearm attack plus 26%. So you're just doing extra damage on top of extra damage on top of extra damage with poison. So that's pretty much it. And how would I build the last three? Probably weak point, better concentration, and concentration priority. So those are the three. If I have the catalyst for it, that's how I would build it. So if you guys are curious, that's what I would do. Just to add concentration, weak point, and better concentration, and bam, you're done. This is the build. Alright? Secondary, whatever you want. Whatever guns you have that's already fully built, you have an energy activator in there and whatnot, but basically Fallen Hope is the only thing you need to kill anything in the game, really, with Freyna. Alright, next, we're going to go into Reactor. Pretty straightforward. Let me equip. There you go. Now it's equipped it. Okay, cool. So this is my Toxic Mechanics Reactor for Fallen Hope. Okay? It's upgraded. It buffed all of my skill. The most important one is Q and V, which is my first and second ability. The ultimate is good too, but that's not what I'm focusing on because I mainly used my first and third ability. The stats that I have, the bonus stats that I have is skill effect range and toxic skill power boost ratio. I already have, I already explained that I'm not really worried about skill critting. So I'm just focusing on making them bigger so it affect more. And I want the explosion to go even further. So that's why I got the skill effect range. Next is toxic skill power boost ratio. A flat damage boost. So it's not much to go about it. You want a flat damage boost. You want them to die faster, right? So a flat damage boost. That's all it is. Next, it's my auxiliary power. It's from the Venom Essence set. So if you guys are wondering where to get it, if I remember correctly, it's in... Yep, Swamp Walker. It's in the Swamp Walker. You just keep farming him, and eventually you'll get these. Okay. So let's go over the set bonus first. If you have 2 set, it's Toxic Skill Power plus 6.2. We are Toxic, so that's pretty straightforward. The 4 set is Tactical Rifle, Assault Rifle, Firearm Attribute Effect Trigger Rate plus 12%, and for each Poison stack inflict upon enemies, Firearm Attack plus 2%, Skill Power Modifier plus 0.7% for 5 seconds, at a 30% chance, up to 10 stack. And now you guys understand why I have Fallen Hope and Greg's Reverse Fate. Okay? Because of the 4 set bonuses. You get more firearm attack by using assault rifle and tactical rifle and whatnot. So you're already poisoning a lot. Here's the thing though. With this build, if you are doing it right, the chances of you ever really using your gun in mob fight is very low. Okay, die so fast to poison. Okay? So the stats that I have, just like everything else, on your auxiliary power, you can get fire resistant and max HP. So you just want to go for that. Double stats always good. This one, I get HP recovery modifier and consumable drop rate, so that it will drop more mana regen orb and health orb. Pretty straightforward. Double defense. This would be even better if it's double defense plus 1 of the resistance. But I didn't get it. I farm it a lot. I can farm it more, of course, but as long as you have double defense, you're basically golden. Last one. Double stats again. Max HP and max shield. Shield is the only thing you can get in the processor. So that's what you want. And then you get toxin resistance. If you can get them both gold, please, get them all gold. But I'm not the type of person that would farm the same thing 100 times. I farm it enough where I'm not bored, and then I'll move on. So that's pretty much the build. Now let me showcase my Freyna and what the Contagion can do. Alright guys, we're at the laboratory. That's how they pronounce it in the game. And let's get the mob set on. Alright? And I'll show you guys what Contagion does. Watch. Poison. It's pretty good. Blow up. Blow up. And that's pretty much it. So, of course, if you kill them faster, they'll blow up more. So this is how you would play. Let's spawn it again. Boom. 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 Blow up. Blow up. And they just keep blowing up until they all die. Pretty straightforward. That's Contagion. And this is your V. So the whole combo is just V and Q. And they just die. So you don't really have to use your gun. If you do it right, you really don't have to. Oh, and this is why the duration is so good. Because it's still going. So I gotta wait for the poison to be... So when they die, they leave behind footprints. That's why there's still poison behind. Yeah. So the whole goal is just V, Q, and they just die. And that's it. And then, of course, if you want to... I gotta wait for the poison to go away. Okay. And then, of course, when you can also use your ult to inflict room 0 trauma, and they just all die real quick too. So you can do that, but of course you can't use your ult all the time. So when we're just doing mobbing, that's all you really do. And we could show you the boss one. The only difference between the boss one is that we don't have Contagion, but you don't really need it. When during boss fight, let's assume that there's only one enemies over here, right? Let me fix that real quick so I could show you guys. I'm gonna have him with invincible, so you guys can see the damage. So the whole point of when the boss is in front of you, you just go boom, boom, shoot. That's it. That's all you have to do. And you just see all that ticks. And then when it's up, go shoot again. You don't really have to use your C. You don't have to use your ult. You just shoot your ability when it's up. And your Fallen Hope will do the rest. Okay? And whenever you have a chance,
Open fire.
use your ult. I'm taking about 89,000 per round. So it's not bad. Right? So this Freyna is really good. You just can't really crit. As you can tell, I don't crit that much. Even with skill insight on. And that's the unfortunate part about Freyna. And so you just gotta deal with that, unfortunately. But she's really good at DPS because even though she's not doing... You can do so much. You don't have to move. You don't have to jump up and down like Bunny does. You just stay there, shoot, put down your poison, and just start shooting. And that's it. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this Freyna video. I really like her. And I'm trying to put more catalyst in her to make her even better. And I might just wait until they come out with Ultimate Freyna. I'm definitely gonna get Ultimate Freyna. But yeah, but this is my build. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope this guy helped you out in your first Descendant build. But anyways guys, see you in the next video.